All right, nation, let's get into it. We got 6 undrafted free agents that we should pay attention to. And shout out to Blogging the Boards for this article. Let's pull up our drinks. Let's look into this details of situation here. Every year there's somebody in training camp that stands out, or every year there's somebody in training camp that everybody open their eyes up and say, man, how this person didn't get drafted, or where did this guy come from? And that's just been the nature throughout the entire NFL. Nevertheless, let's look into the list that they have. Number 1 will be Anthony Hines III, by the way. Now, every year we have this guy that shows up and shows out, right? So whether it's OTAs, whether it's something that you can say to yourself, this guy just didn't get the opportunity when he was in college, what have you, whatever it may be, everything starts at 0 when you make it to the pros. Everything. Your college skill sets, your high school things that you did over there, even in middle school, that doesn't translate, or that doesn't get credit for when you go to the NFL. Because now you get a whole new system. You're in an environment where people are fighting for not just playing time, but for legacy. So Anthony Hines III, he's one of the guys that maybe if we have enough time, we can go dive into some film reviews on him. But I believe that linebacker room, what we have already, we okay. We flat out okay. Unless Anthony Hines can be like this all-star of a world star, not the website, out there on training camp day, and it just be one of those talking points that everybody have pumped their brakes and say, okay, yeah, Anthony Hines, dog, yeah, he's that dog. But I'm not going to give him one of those things. I'm not going to give him that dog bark right now, because these guys got to prove it. Now, Tyler Cole, for those who've been following my channel for a minute, y'all know that I selected him to be one of my, let me say this. How can I put this in other words? He is one of my dark horses. Yes, we all root for the underdogs, but Tyler Cole is one of my dark horses. He was a converted linebacker to safety back to linebacker, and of course he played primarily safety, and they're looking at him at safety. Now, he is a 4-3 type of guy. He got speed, and on top of that, I think that in college land, and hear me out, like I said, none of this stuff transposed itself or transfer itself from college to the pros, because you got to earn everything now at face value. But if he was utilized in multiple situations, so just look at it like this. We really need help at safety. Outside of DeMonte KZ, outside of Israel Mukramu, who they're converting a cornerback to a safety role, and on top of that, outside of Donovan Wilson, it may get down to a situation in a scenario that the Dallas Cowboys moonwalk a little bit and they might kick Keanu Neal back at safety. That can flat out happen, because we don't have a lot of depth in that area. Of course, KZ, we praying that he can stay healthy and be healthy for the 2021 season. But if not, then it's going to be Donovan Wilson back at that free safety role. And Israel Mukramu, as much as you look at his tape, he's not ready to be a strong safety. He's pinged to be a free safety. So it'll be one of those things, whereas you might have to rip the Band-Aid off and say, Israel, you gonna be the free safety, and then we're gonna allow Donovan Wilson to hold his ground to be in the strong, maybe be a situation. But Tyler Cole can look at this and say, okay, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to showcase to the world that I could be that strong or free safety. It doesn't matter. Wherever you put me at, I'm going to shine. So he's my dark horse, so check him out. Braylon Jones, let me just tell you guys this right quick. By the Cowboys not bringing back Joe Looney, we have a weakened spot as it relates to experience. Not saying as it relates to playing skill set. Tyler Biadasz, is the quote-unquote starting center right now. Now, when you look at it, you can say, well, Connor McGovern got positional flex, but why not? Why not bring in this guy, Braylon Jones, to see whether or not he can anchor in and solidify that role as a backup? The craziest thing about offensive line, for your mind, nobody want them until you need them. Let me repeat, nobody want them until you need them. That's just how the offensive line stuff goes. Now, Jaquan Hardy, if you are a Jaquan Hardy fan, let me know. Excuse me, I have yet to look up and evaluate his film, so my eyes will be wide open to look and see what kind of skill set he brings to the table. Just to be fair and honest with you all, I really like the Rico kid that we have already, and I really like the Braden Knox. I did a film review on him, who played for Marshall. Of course, reason why, I was looking at Josh Ball film. I said, hey, that guy looked familiar. Oh, that's the undrafted guy we picked up, Braden Knox. So now we have to really look into this situation and saying, how can these guys get enough reps to showcase their ability? Oh, the only way we can see them would be, okay, preseason. Because we all know running back situations always look good during OTAs, training camp, and beyond. It's really a hard deal to look at when you're trying to evaluate the running back, when there's not a full contact, when you know for sure that nobody is really going to lay the wood on them, and they get a little chippy. And every now and then, you might get the linebacker to get angry and upset and lay the wood. Like LVE did, I believe, a couple years ago. Just laid the wood on somebody. So during practice, we're talking about practice. So that's always a hard spot to evaluate until you get to preseason. Just to be fair with everybody when I say that. Now, Osiris Mitchell and TJ Vasher as the wide receivers to be on the lookout for. Now, there was another assessment that I did, was on Brandon Eagles, who's 6'4", just as tall as these guys. Of course, these guys are 6'5". Osiris Mitchell and TJ Vasher is 6'6". Now, this will be a good battle, right? Wide receivers, you can really see whether or not they can pretty much do something out of training camp. Running backs is a little different because the mindset, the physicality. Yeah, shooting through the A gap or B gap, knowing that nobody's going to hit you, is a whole nother story, right? But when you're talking about climbing a route, running certain routes or what have you, and there's one-on-one, basically, you got to win and you got to know your playbook. So these guys, TJ Vasher, Osiris Mitchell, Brandon Eagles, Semi Fihoku, I think Semi is the shoe-in at this point. Out of these guys, I'm leaning more on the side of TJ Vasher. Now, I like Brandon Eagles. If you can stash him away on the practice squad for a couple of years and then bring him out, then that would be flat out cool. Now, Osiris Mitchell, the exact same sentiments with him. He's a little raw in a lot of categories out of all of these guys. He don't block the best out of all of these guys. So now we can look into this situation and say, man, the true battle would be the war of attrition. If TJ Vasher can stay healthy and if he can find a role on the special teams, then he will be a guy that can cement himself on this team. But he got to figure out a way to stay healthy. He got to figure out a way to find a spot on the special teams, and he got to really shine. Think about this, what John Stephen Jones said. John Stephen Jones said this right here. I'm looking for guys that we drafted or guys that's undrafted to overcome, to make this team so that we don't have to pay the guys that's already here. Those are his words, not mine. Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns of the guys that you feel, the 6 undrafted free agent players, we can put rookie in there, which one to look out for. who is your dark horse out of this entire draft, and who is your pet cat? Those are the two things. Your dark horse and your pet cat. I want to know. Now, let me just tell you guys, this will be my first time telling everyone. My pet cat will be Boss Man Fat. My dark horse will be, of course, Tyler Cole. So let's see how this thing goes from here. And of course, we talking about cats, but it's real dogs what we really looking for. And you know how this thing goes, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Let's spend my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys.